What's going on? Today we're taking a look at the Hyte Y60 PC case. Now as you can see, we've got a nice view into the case, whether from the side or the front, thanks to the 3 panels here. It puts everything just on display absolutely brilliantly. There's no denying that you can be left with a very clean build on this. Now Hyte have gone into a lot of research and design before they released this case. They had a lot of thought about it, and one of the things I like to see is they've included their own PCIe riser cable, but it's not just your standard cable. They've given it a nice look, so where it slots into your motherboard, it's not just a bare cable. It actually looks like it could be like a mini PCI expansion card of some sort, you know what I'm saying? But it's not. It's just got the cable, and then it allows for the vertical mounting. But again, they've made the cable the perfect length, so you don't have any excess cable. You don't have to worry about it. It's already there. It comes installed in the case. You literally just have to put your motherboard in, plug it into your motherboard, and then plug your GPU, as we can see, into the vertical slot. Now, another great feature of this case is it's dual chambered. Now, we've been seeing this a lot over, for 10 plus years now, but I'm still a big fan of them. What it allows you to do is in the front, we have all our hardware. It looks nice, it looks clean. But on the back side, which we'll take a look at in a bit, is where the power supply, all the hard drives, and all the abundance of cables a lot of cases have these days. It's not the case's fault, it's just with more fans, more RGB, more this, more that, sometimes there's a lot more cables. But that's a nice feature that they've done. I quite am a big fan of that. And then one of the other last things, not the last things, but another thing to think of, is they have made the floor of this cooling. So there's actually 2 pre-installed fans in the floor that are going to take the air. As you can see, there's a nice little gap here, and take the air and push it up into the chassis to help cool things down, to get that air from the bottom of the floor. Make sure all your hardware is running as cool as possible, help with the longevity, help you get them extra frames so you're not thermal throttling and all that type of stuff. It's real easy to build in as well. There are a couple little, I guess you could say, little niggles, little things that they take a second. They're not really a pain, especially if you're building in this case to keep this case. This is going to be your main case. You won't mind taking a few extra seconds to do a couple extra things to be left looking with a lovely build such as this. Now, for the purpose of this video, I've taken this thumb screw out, but to take this side panel off, there's one thumb screw here, and then you just pull it out, pop it up, job done. It's nice and easy. You can see where it will mount into here, where the glass panel will actually sit into there, so it doesn't just fall out. And another reason I did that is to show you that even with the thumb screw out, I've taken the back one out as well, the panel just doesn't pop off. There's a couple of clips here, little poppers on the glass. They push into there and it does hold it into place. So while it is recommended to always have the thumb screw in, if you don't, it's not going to be the end of the world. Now, as you can see, we're left with an absolutely immaculately clean looking build. The cables come from this far side here. It's kind of on a diagonal slant. There is like rubber grommets of sorts back there to help keep things looking nice, keep the cables where they need to be. And there is a couple of different actual holes there. It's not just one continuous big one. As you can see, it does look nice for the most part. I mean, some of these cables aren't meant to bend too much, so you do have a little bit more up front than some people may want. But at the end of the day, it's not really a big deal, because what else it does offer, again, vertical mounting GPU, one of the easiest ones I've seen. Like I said, you don't actually have to do anything. It just comes like that. The vertical mount's there. It's got the PCI expansion brackets here for up to a triple slot graphics card, so you can fit the biggest ones in. Obviously, I've just got my RX 6600 in here from Gigabyte. We've got the Eagle version, if you can see that. But as you can see, there is plenty more room, and the graphics card will go behind this bit of glass as well, so you don't have to worry about it hitting that. I mean, you've got plenty more room for supported longer graphics cards. But that's it. Obviously, one thing I do like is it's hard to see, but so for AIOs and radiators, as you can see, the bottom of the fans are almost flush with this part of the case. It's kind of the whole radiator and fans are kind of like recessed up into the case instead of hanging down over the motherboard, which we see. This is going to allow, sometimes with bigger RAM, depending on what heat sinks you've got here, what ports, if you put your AIO there, sometimes you lose access to the top of the motherboard. As we can see, I've got the MSI 360 core liquid here, and there's no problems. I still have full access to the top of the motherboard, which is great. Now, the one thing to mention with that is that when you do install it, again, oh, there we go, again, it just pops right off. If you can see, it's got all these little like balls here. They just kind of clip into place and it holds it. So there really is no need for thumb screws, though they do come. So on this, we'll see here. Give it a little turn, don't mind me. There we go. Hopefully you can see that decent enough. It's got a bracket here. And what you'll do is you'll take this bracket out. You'll slot your AIO onto this top side, and then you'll put your fans on the bottom side. So the bracket is actually in between the fans and the radiator. So obviously when you first go to do it, a lot of people might put the fans on the radiator before they put them in here. You will not want to do that with the Hyte Y60. You will want to go ahead, take this bracket out, put it on your radiator, and then put your fans on top and screw them in. So it does take a tiny bit of planning. It's not a ridiculous amount of planning. You just need to make sure that you've got your tubes on the right side, you know which way your fan cables are going, and all that type of stuff. But again, very simple if you know about it. If you don't know about it and you put your fans on your radiator first and then you go to building it, you might be a little bit upset. But again, what does it take? A minute to unscrew 12 radiator case fans or whatever. It's not a big deal at the end of the day. It's just something to be wary of, take notice of. So we'll move around to the back side here. We'll take a quick look at the back before I go ahead and unplug it and show the back side. We have the PCI expansion bays here. Now obviously you will know that these are a bit shorter than normal. This is to do, of course, with the graphics card. So when you have the graphics card vertically mounted, if you do want to use these bottom PCI expansion slots, you'll need smaller ones. You wouldn't be able to like stick another graphics card in there because it would stick out too far here and it just wouldn't fit. So again, not a real issue for most users, but if you've got Wi-Fi cards, USB-C cards, capture cards, or any of that type of stuff, you will need them. A lot of them do come with secondary smaller brackets, but you will need to use those to make them fit into the case. Another cool feature we've got is obviously the hot swappable storage bays. You got two storage bays here, so you can take them in and out without having to open the whole case up. That's great if you got a lot of storage, if you need to swap things out. Obviously Plex servers, video recorders, content creators, whatever you are, if you need to do that, the option is there. But of course, it even says here, power. So we've got the power supply here. As you can see, it's mounted vertically with the bottom of the power supply being on this side. So the fan will pull in. Pardon me, I'll take that off again. So it's got the nice grate here. So the fan on the power supply will pull its air in from there. And that is pretty much it for the back. We'll go ahead and see if I can twist this around. What we'll do is we'll do it this way while everybody's watching. Don't mind me. Here we go. So this is the back. Something I normally don't show a whole lot of, but I'm trying to change up the content here, trying to give you guys a full look at things. And at the end of the day, wires are what they are. As you can see, so this is the storage rack, storage bay here. We have the two storage bays. As you can see, they've got the big whole rack here so you can mount the hard drive to this, undo the thumb screws, pull it all the way out without having to open the case. Now, obviously, when you do that, you will need to make sure that when you plug your cables in, they will allow you to pull it all the way out without unplugging the cables, or else you'd have to open it up to plug them back in when you put it in. Not an issue, just something to take note of. Like I mentioned, the bottom of the power supply here. So this is going to bring the air in from the ventilated side panel and keep that cool and keep that operating optimally. We've got plenty of room down the middle here for all our cables, and there's also room underneath. So you've got plenty of access for cables. Don't worry about how many cables you have. Like I said, Obviously, I know a lot of people go into cable management, making the backside look good. For me, as long as the front looks good, it's not a big deal, because personally, for me, I take my computers apart a lot, even not my review units, my personal ones, to clean them. And that does include taking the whole power supply out, cables, literally completely strip it down. So I don't want to be spending hours zip tying everything up to go ahead and have to do it again in 6 months. Again, me personally, but as you can see, there are some mounts and places to attach zip ties all over this, up here, down here, over here, underneath. There is plenty of room. So if you are into cable management properly, and you want to zip tie everything up, you don't have to worry. There is plenty of room. Now, of course, we have also got room for a 240 AIO radiator, fans, 220 mil fans, whatever you want here. Again, another great addition. I mean, you can easily enough just put in a couple of fans here, and you can bring some more air into the chassis to help make sure things are cooling down. But in my testing personally, with my setup, obviously I don't have top of the range. I think I've got the Intel 13700KF CPU in there with an RX 6600. So it's not the most power hungry system generating the most heat. So I don't have to worry about additional fans here. To be honest, the way it is set up with the 2 in the base here, the 1 in the back, and then obviously the AIO fans, it does a good enough job at keeping my hardware where I'm happy with it. It's nice. I don't have to worry about temperatures or anything like that. The fans don't ramp up loud like a jet taking off because things are too hot. It just it works. It does what it's supposed to. And that's that. But for those of you that want it, as you can see, that's obviously where the maybe where the tubes or something or extra cables can go through from the AIO, radiator, water cooling ports, then 2 fans here. But again, as you can see, there's more space under here, even though there is fans that are under there as well. So you've got to be careful when putting wires under there that they don't hit the fans, because if nothing else, it could just be annoying with the wires rubbing on the fans at all times. But to be honest, for me, it was easy building in it. Like I said, I was one of those silly people that put my fans on my radiator first, and that's how I found out that you need to put that bracket on the radiator and then put the fans on. Like I said, a bit annoying at the time, but at the end of the day, looking at the end result, I'm glad that that's how they've designed it, because like I said, you get the access to the top of the motherboard, and if nothing else, as we can see, I mean, just look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. You couldn't ask for a much better case. The only thing I would say, which isn't a thing, is maybe rubber grommets for up here, but you can only barely see where the cables pass through to the back side of the chassis. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty much it. Other than the radiator, it was a dream to build in. Everything fits fine. As you can see, no more cables than you really need out the front. And yeah, it's just, it's a really nice case. And if you're one of the lucky ones that can afford the Y70, the new version with the touchscreen, that just adds even more functionality to an already great case. But that's it. It's just a quick look. Oh, well, I don't know if it's quick now, but just a look around the Hyte Y60. I'll show you guys my build in it, what I thought of it. And yeah, I mean, it comes recommended from us at Enos Tech. I will give it a little award as always, because this is kind of my full build review, if you will. But yeah, I'm absolutely happy with it. It's going to house my Intel i7, 13700KF, which is going to be my current RAM and SSD tester. Unfortunately, I did want to use it for my AIO testing as well, but like I said, as with having to do that bracket, it's not really feasible to be a full-time AIO testing setup. So again, not an issue with the case. It's just for my personal needs, I will probably just go to like an open air test bench, because it's a lot easier to bang out AIO review videos. But anyways, I want to thank Hyte for sending this in for this review. Again, great case, lovely color in white. It does come in a few other colors, so if white's not your thing, make sure you look into it at your local retailer, on Amazon, or even their website to see what colors it does come in. So that's it for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and please stay tuned in the future for more content.